Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2020-21 season. My name is Dan and today I've got for you the ultimate guide on all of the upcoming double and blank game weeks, and I will be sharing with you my personal strategy on how to navigate them. Guys, this is going to be a big, super important video. Trust me, I've spent hours and hours making graphics and just to try and help explain this to you guys, as it's actually quite complicated. But these next couple of game weeks could literally define your entire FPL season. It really is the most important period in the entire of the FPL season. And it's crucial that you have to understand what is going on right now. And I genuinely think this could be the most important FPL video you watch all year. Now, 90% of FPL players, they won't even know about the upcoming double and blank game weeks, and even more won't have a clue about strategies to navigate them. So just by watching this video, you're going to be at a huge advantage among the overall FPL player base. So congratulations, you're about to become an official FPL nerd. And if you do appreciate what you see today, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing if you're new around here too. So before we get started, just a very quick word from our sponsor today, Manscaped.com, the ultimate male grooming products money can buy. Now, Manscaped do electric razors, nose hair trimmers, manly men's nail kits. Trust me, guys, trust me. I personally use and love these products. So I can personally recommend them, I really can. And you can get an insane 20% off and free shipping using the code FPLMate. All one word. Use that at checkout, you get that discount and free shipping. It helps support the channel when you buy, and it's a genuinely awesome product that you get in return. So everyone wins. Go check it out. Link and discount code are in the top of the description. Let's shave together, guys. So let's whip out this insanely big table of fixtures for you. I'm sorry if you're on mobile, maybe this is a little small, but I really did need to pack in a lot of information into a limited amount of screen space. But as you can see, this is a pretty familiar looking table of fixtures for all teams between game week 25 and 29. And we're going to take this insanely big table and we're going to start to mess it up a bit and reflect what the actual fixture list is going to look like. Now, this period of 5 game weeks is where we really want to be focusing all of our attention on right now. These are the make or break 5 game weeks of the season. I have included a column on the right hand side as well that you can see shows our extra fixtures. These fixtures are they're fixtures from teams that have games in hand, if you like, due to postponements that have already happened so far this season. Now, the fixtures in the extra column, they're going to need to fit in somewhere, and that's likely, it's likely that most, if not all of those fixtures on that extra column are going to be scheduled at some point during this run of 5 games between game week 25 and 29. Now, we'll talk about these extra fixtures in some more details shortly, but I want you to just keep an eye on them for now, just so you can see, okay, 7 teams here: Villa, Everton, Fulham, Leeds, Southampton and Spurs. All of them are going to be playing more than 5 games over this 5 game period. That's pretty good, right? So really try and pay attention to that. It's kind of important. Picking players from these teams will mean you're going to get extra double game weeks in this period. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on these highlighted teams. So Villa, Southampton and Spurs in particular, they've got the potential to play 7 games in a 5 game week period. Now, that is huge indeed, I'm sure you all know. Now, whilst we can't say for sure when most of those extra games will be played, we do already know that, officially now, the Leeds versus Southampton game, that has been scheduled to fit in game week 25, meaning both Leeds and Southampton are going to have a double game week this game week. Okay, that's great. We can see that those teams are great to target right now. We move them over there. We're on our way. You know, you've got players like Ings, Bamford, Rafinha, Dallas maybe. These should maybe be on your radar for your game week 25 transfers. Unfortunately, guys, after that, things do start to get a little complicated. So from here on in the video, the specific arrangements of the fixtures is, it's a prediction using a combination of the fixture scheduling expert genius of Ben Krellin, his workings out. I've used that sort of as a base, and some of my own extrapolations to add to that as well, and try and simplify things a little bit for you guys so you can more easily understand what's going on. Now, I can't tell you that the fixture predictions in this video will be 100% correct, but I think we can certainly predict with 90-95% certainty that this is what's going to be the case. So to start off, what I can tell you for certain is that in game week 29, the Premier League clashes with the FA Cup. Now, because the FA Cup takes priority, this means that teams that are still competing in the FA Cup, and that's Chelsea, Everton, Leicester, Man City, Man United, Sheffield United and Southampton, all of those teams are going to have their Game Week 29 fixtures moved to a midweek slot. When is the next available midweek slot for all teams? Well, it's in Game Week 26. So let's move all of the fixtures played by those teams over from Game Week 29 to Game Week 26, which creates blank Game Week 29 and a rather excitingly, a huge double Game Week 26. Of course, all the teams who were due to play, the teams still competing in the FA Cup in Game Week 29, they've also had their fixtures moved as well. Now, this gives us a total of an incredible 16 teams who will each play twice in the double Game Week 26. And whilst the individual fixtures, they may swap and change a little bit, we can say with a lot of confidence that 16 teams will double up in Game Week 26. Wow. So this is why Game Week 26 is kind of the perfect game week to target. Make sure you have, 11 players coming from these 16 highlighted teams. So you have a full squad of double game week players. And, if you have your bench boost, what a fantastic week to use your bench boost with so many teams doubling up. If you don't have your bench boost, but maybe you have your triple captain, again, loads of options here for you to use your triple captain. Now, if you're unprepared for all these doubles and you want a free hit instead, maybe you can do that as well. You can go all in on the doubles. But basically, guys, you have to use a chip during Game Week 26. Game Week 26 is going to be the biggest game week of the entire season. Now, after we've considered the big double, we can start looking at where some of these extra unscheduled fixtures could fit in. Well, we can now move City versus Southampton to Game Week 27, making a new mini double game week for each of those teams there. And now we can also move Spurs versus Fulham to blank. Oh no, Spurs versus Aston Villa, to blank Game Week 29, since neither Spurs nor Aston Villa, neither of those teams are still competing in the FA Cup, which means this is a spare slot for them. So that's moved there, nice and easy. I've left some of those other extra fixtures in the extra column just because, honestly, they could fit in anywhere between Game Week 25 and 28. We can't tell for sure, but this is going to give us now 5 teams who are due to have multiple double game weeks all within a short burst of time. So Villa, Everton, City, Southampton, Spurs, all of those teams are likely to have double game weeks between Game Week 26 and 28. So these are the teams that you really want to be targeting right now. So you need to get players from these teams, guys. Southampton in particular could have 3 double game weeks all in a row between Game Week 25 and Game Week 27. Now, you should also kind of try and bear in mind that the quality of the fixtures, maybe for Southampton, the quality of the fixtures is not quite there. So it's not all about quantity of fixtures, but also about quality. Southampton, you can see they've got Chelsea, Spurs, and Man City in each of their doubles. So that's not amazing. So I'm not suggesting you go all in on Southampton, but, it will probably be good to have 1 or 2 Southampton players in your team. We can then cast our eyes over to Aston Villa and Spurs, who are not only potentially going to have multiple double game weeks in a short period of time, but they also both play in blank Game Week 29. So that's one less thing to worry about, because we'll get there eventually, guys, but we are going to have to worry a little bit about this blank Game Week 29 and how we're going to navigate that one. Villa and Spurs players, they can be brought into your team either now, or you can get them ready for next game week, and then they're set and forget. They cover you for not only the double game weeks in the immediate future, but they cover you for that horrible, tricky blank game week. So again, Villa, Spurs, really good teams to be targeting. Arguably the best 2 teams to be targeting in the entire league right now, just because the fact that their fixtures look really good, as well as them having doubles, as well as them not missing that Game Week 29. So really keep an eye on Villa and Spurs, guys. So, let's talk about blank Game Week 29. This is the tricky one, guys. This is going to be the banana skin of this run of fixtures. This is going to be the game week to trip people up. So, there are just 8 teams playing during this game week. To make things worse, 5 of those 8 teams will not have any double game weeks in the 4 game weeks prior. Do you really want to own Arsenal players, Brighton, Fulham, Newcastle and West Ham players right now, when all of the other teams are having a massive party getting a double game weeks, and then you've got these 5 teams, Arsenal, Brighton, Fulham, Newcastle, West Ham, they don't have doubles. You probably don't want to have those players right now, but equally, do you want to go into Game Week 29 with no players playing whatsoever? Well, of course you don't, and this is where the tough decisions come into play. Now, Game Week 29, it's going to be the lowest scoring game week of the season. Every year, it's the same situation every year. The equivalent of this FA Cup blank game week. It's always the lowest, least important fixture game week of the entire season. So don't worry about it too much. People are simply not going to be able to scrape together 11 players. Like, it's just not possible. You yourself, you're also going to find yourself in this position, and that's fine. My advice to you is don't panic. The last thing you want to do is panic in game week 29 and waste your free hits. On this game week, maybe you waste your wild card and throw your whole team out of balance because you're bringing in players that you don't want long term, all for the sake of literally the most insignificant game week of the entire season. This is a nothing game week, a pointless game week, a game week that is not going to define your FPL season at all. It's not a big game week. I'm sure you get the point by now, guys. I'm sure. And my best advice is to try and scrape together 6, 7, maybe 8 players that will play during this game week, and I believe that will be enough. Just having 6, 7, 8 players, that will be enough to keep your team not dropping a lot of rank, maybe even get a small green arrow there as well. Now, an easy way of doing this is to either grab a couple of Leeds players, get ready for their double in game week 25, and then just hold them all the way through to game week 29, or if you need a little bit more time to plan, as I mentioned before, we already know that both Villa and Spurs will have their lovely double game weeks on their way, and they're also going to play in game week 29 too. So if you've got Kane, Son, Grealish, Martinez, Watkins, these are the kind of players that will not only be great for the nice double game weeks in the immediate future, but give you that security of knowing you will have at least some players for the blank game week 29. Add to that maybe Bamford, Rafinha, Dallas, and then we're going to go into this game week 29. You know, maybe we use our free transfers between game week 26 and 29 to grab a player or two from Brighton, maybe West Ham. Suddenly, we've got enough players to get by. But let me assure you, you do not need 11 players for this game week. If you find yourself with 11 playing players in game week 29, this is really kind of a bad thing, because what it will mean is that you've made massive sacrifices elsewhere. You've either made sacrifices earlier on, as in not got enough double game week players. It will mean you've made sacrifices by using your free hit or wild card in a place that's not really a good time to use it. So just chill out. Don't panic with chips and hits. Just do your best to play as many players as you can. 6, 7, 8 will be enough for this game week to keep you solid for this game week, and then you can just move on after that with all of your chips in tow. So that's the explanation of the fixture scheduling and the movement. That's all done. This is kind of what the fixture list table is going to look like. Roughly, pretty confidently, 95%. It's going to look something like this. I hope that makes a bit of sense so far. If you did understand it, that's going to really help you navigate these fixtures really well. It's going to help you make your own strategy. You're going to smash it, guys, trust. And if not, that's okay. Just look at this graphic in front of you now. Assume this is the fixture schedule until the official Premier League tells you otherwise, and you can use it to plan your transfers. You'll still be at a huge advantage over 90% of other players. Right. So my strategy, and in my opinion, the best possible strategy, is to basically go all out, aggressively attacking this period of 5 game weeks with no concern for anything beyond that. So anything beyond game week 29, I don't care about. Pretend game week 25 is the first ever game week you'll ever play, and game week 29 is the last game week you'll ever play. This period could change your entire season. So let's make sure it does. Game week 25. I'm going to add a little bit of extra Leeds or Southampton just to target that double game week in the immediate future. And then we're going to move on to game week 26 with a bench boost in the huge double game week 26. Now, if you've been following me before, you'll know I've already been trying over the past maybe month to try and strengthen my bench, maximize the amount of players likely to double up in game week 26. And in this individual game week, I should have 12 out of my 15 players playing doubles. 2 out of 3 of the remaining players, the non-doubling players, they're going to be Leeds players. So they've just played a double game week in the game week before anyway, so that's all good there. Now, I know, 40% of players around my rank have already used my bench boost. The majority of other players will be completely unprepared for this, I guess, surprise double game week in a way. So this should give me a huge boost in rankings. Then, between game week 27 and 29, I'll be focusing my free transfers, and there'll be 3 free transfers to use during that period to bring in players who I know are going to play in game week 29. So I'll mainly be focused on Spurs and Villa. I know it's possible that they'll have another double game week either in game week 27 or game week 28, so I can kind of target that as well. And at this point, by the end of that, I should be prepared for blank game week 29 with either 8 or 9 players, playing players, ready to go. Now, I believe the average FPL player is probably going to have around 6 playing players in game week 29, probably about that. I believe many other managers will panic into using their free hits or wildcards during this game week, throwing their entire teams into disarray. So here I'm comfortably getting another small green arrow. It's an advantage Stan. It's advantage me. Fantastic stuff. But then what I'll be left with for game week 30 is an absolute disaster of a team, because I've not thought further than game week 30. So I'm at game week 29. I've suddenly got a bit of a nightmare on my hand. My bench is going to be way stronger than I want it to be. All my money is going to be on my bench. I will have far too many players from the limited amount of teams playing in game week 29 and not enough players from the teams that I actually want for the future. But no problem, guys. In game week 30, I hit the wild card until, straight in game week 30, the wild card is going. My team is reset to something that is perfect for the final run of 9 games. So by saving my wild card until game week 30, I can have my cake and eat it too. Aggressively attack game weeks 25 through 29 with no repercussions whatsoever, with a handy get out of jail card at the end of it all. A jail card, a get out of jail card that I can use to plan the perfect team for the final run-in. The calm after the storm, some sanity after a month of craziness, and you know what? I think it's just beautiful. I love it. There's nothing quite like having a plan, particularly for these crazy periods of FPL where you see everyone panicking around you and you kind of know, I think I got this covered, guys. I think I got this covered. Now, obviously, I know most of you guys won't have the exact same available chips as me, so depending on what chips you have left will define the perfect strategy for you personally. This one is just for me, but maybe you can take some inspiration from it. However, I am going to maybe make another video. I've got another video planned where I will be looking at various strategies that you can use depending on your unique situation and the advantages and disadvantages to each strategy. But for now, I really hope you found this video useful. If you did, please leave a like. As you know, I've spent a lot of time on this video, so any likes would be massively appreciated. I really think it's going to help you guys out a lot, but please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or concerns. I'll do my best to help you out and reply to some of those comments. Now, of course, if you're new around here, please do consider subscribing for new FPL videos almost every single day. Plenty of more strategy stuff to come, as well as transfers, tips, etc. All that stuff. Please check out Manscaped and use my discount code in the description. Gotta do it. Support the channel, guys. Love it. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, join my mini league, or join our dedicated FPL Discord chat room. All of those links are in the description, and I think I'll do a stream tomorrow evening so we can catch up on some FPL stuff as well. I hope to see you then, but until then, I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.